What is up, YouTube? We are back with another video. Today's video, we have something I particularly enjoy. I love talking about, I love doing, and it's bench press, right? You came here because you want to explode your bench press. You want a bigger bench press. You want to learn how to bench more, right? So I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. And for those who don't know, I used to weigh 120 pounds. First ever gym plateau was a plate, right? It was 135 pounds, right? So I was benching 135 pounds at 120 pounds body weight, and since then I've added 155 pounds to my bench press, and I've only gained 20 pounds in weight. So right now I weigh 140 pounds and my bench press is at 290 pounds. And during this time I didn't know how to increase my bench. I was always wondering why everybody else had a stronger bench than mine on the internet. Went through so many plateaus. I remember this one plateau, it was the fucking worst, right? I was stuck at 205 pounds for so many months. My friends literally used to make fun of my bench press because I was stuck there. I couldn't get to 225. I was just stuck at 205 pounds. I remember the fucking feeling it gave me when I couldn't get past 205. That shit hurt me deep down, bro. Like, it was more than just bench pressing to me, right? So I want to help you guys overcome plateaus like I did and help you guys get through this process faster, because if I knew the shit that I knew now, I would have never went through really any of these plateaus. Basically, a month ago, September 8th, I was at 270 pounds of bench press. Now I'm at 290 pounds. That is literally like 20 pounds in a month that I put on my bench press, and I'm still 140 pounds, right? I never increased my body weight. I'm the same weight as before, right? So this shit fucking works. Before I get into the points that I'm about to make, I want to make sure that you know this shit is not backed by science, right? Feel free to correct me. All the points that I'm about to make is what I've personally done. I wouldn't give you any information that I haven't tried out or that I haven't done. The first thing that you need to do is you need to be benching 3 times a week. It's as simple as that. If you want the results, you got to put in more work, right? Extreme results require extreme work, right? Most of my plateaus that happen, 205, 145 pounds, right? 225. Most of my plateaus happen because I'm literally benching 1 or 2 times a week, and most of the times I wouldn't even max out those 1 or 2 times a week, right? You need to increase your bench press, and what I found the personal sweet spot is 3 times a week. When I started benching 3 times a week, my bench has fucking exploded, right? I wouldn't have been able to increase my bench 20 pounds in basically a month if I didn't start benching 3 times a week. This shit is the fucking cheat code, right? No less, no more than 3 times a week. Following this, there's a way to go about it. You need to be doing a hard day, a medium day, and a light day, right? Don't fucking bench heavy each and every single time you go on bench press. Your muscles are not gonna have time to recover. You're probably most likely going to get injured if you do that, right? So what I do is on hard day, I'm telling you, I don't care about injury, right? I have good form, right? You may not feel the same way, so you may want to do it differently, but I max out each and every single time on fucking hard day. My body has personally been adapted to bench maxing out each and every single week, and it has recovered well. I haven't had any issues with that, right? So I'm going to keep doing it, and it's been getting me the most results. On hard day, what I do is I max out, right, which is Monday. Following that, I'd bench Wednesday, right? This would be a medium day. Let's say I'd probably put on around 225 and I'd rep out 6 to 7 reps on the weight that you can do for 6 or 7 reps, and that it will bring you basically to failure, right? And I would do that for 3 or 4 sets, and then I get into my workout. I think that day, Monday I'd have chest, Tuesday I'd have legs, and then Wednesday I'd have arms, right? So that would be arm day. Light day would be Friday, which I have shoulders that day, right? And light day, you have to put on like a really light weight. I personally do just a single plate, and I bust out literally like 10 reps for 4 sets, right? This is mostly a form day to get your fucking form down, because if you don't have the correct form, you're going to injure yourself, or your bench could be way more than it is right now, because form plays a huge factor in this bench press stuff. So have a hard, a medium, and a light day, right? Hard day, fucking max out. You don't have to max out, but if you want the fucking results, if you want what I've gotten, right, fucking max out, right? Medium day, only if you're feeling it. If you're feeling like you're gonna get injured, if your body is not recovered yet, do not max out, right? Just go heavy. Medium day, stick to 6 to 7 reps. Weight that you can do for 6 to 7 reps. And then light day, right? This is form work. Get out 10 to 12 reps on bench press, right? Don't tire your chest out because it needs time to recover, but work on your form, right? This is important. The next point I have to make is your fucking triceps, bro. Your triceps are key. I was always wondering why my arms didn't look as big as they should have been, right? I was spamming bicep curls, and I realized triceps make about 75, I believe, I put it on the screen, percent of your arm, right? So your triceps are doing most of the work, and your triceps are a key role in your bench press, right? Because I was always wondering why when I benched and I was maxing out, it only went up halfway and then it went back down. That's because your triceps can't carry the rest of the load, right? It's bringing it back down because your chest can get it up. You got it up halfway, but your triceps mostly finish off the rep. So you need to be doing tricep work a lot. I do triceps around 3 times a week. So let's say chest, I do a little bit of tricep work after. I do tricep pull downs with the cable and then the overhead version of the cable with triceps, and I also do include some dips into it. And then arm day would be Wednesday. I train triceps. I do multiple different workouts for triceps. And then Friday would be the last day I really train triceps, because you train triceps when you're bench pressing, right? So it's getting worked basically 3 times a week. I mostly prioritize it earlier in the week, which is Monday and Wednesday. Bench press, you need to have great form. And one of the ways that I learned to have better form is by watching UF Power Lifters channel, right? I put the exact video that I use for form. Bench is like 400 pounds at like 150 body weight, right? It was outstanding, right? It was an inspiration to me. And I literally copied his form, and that was the best thing I could have done. Like, so watch the video that I put on the screen, copy his exact form to see if it works for you, right? Everybody's form is different. People may have a wider grip, a closer grip. It varies between person to person, but what I found personally is the form that he does, the exact same setup, has worked for me so much and has improved my bench. Some of the most effective workouts that I've done for bench press are the tricep pull downs, right, to help with your triceps. I also do pause reps on the incline bench press, right? I don't like to use the Smith machine because I feel like when I use the incline bench press, I can control really where the bar goes, but I can't really do that on Smith machine. So right, I do pause reps. Pause reps are fucking important. These shits will boost your bench so much because you're working on the accelerating portion, right? Because a lot of the time you can't lift the bar up. Like, you can get it halfway, but you can't push forward, right? So when you're doing pause reps, it helps with that acceleration, bringing it back up. Another thing that I do is incline dumbbell press, right? I like to go pretty heavy with that, and I also do a drop set with that. And then another workout that I do is chest flies, right, with the cables. Send the cables all the way back and then you push forward, right? I like to do that too. I mostly do a lot of drop sets. Workouts are more of a high volume type of split because I'm working for muscle definition and stuff. But bench press, it just seems to happen that I love doing it, so I incorporate that into my training routine. When you're benching, you need to have 3 points of contact, right? The 3 points of contact should be your head, the back of your head, the back of your shoulders, and your feet, right? Your back shouldn't really be on the bench. You want to have that arch. This arch will help improve your bench, right? And it'll put less stress on your shoulders because there's less range of motion. We're going to get into the points of what not to do, right? What not to do is not fucking recording your bench press. Right, you need to record your bench press so you can improve and learn and better your form. Because I thought I was benching good until I looked back on the video. One of the most common flaws that I had, right, was my wrists. This is what I'm talking about with wrist straps. When I took the bar off the thing, my wrists were bent like this. So say the marker was the bar like this, right? Instead, I should have been holding it like this. My arm should be straight, right? Because if you hold it like this, it might fall on your face, right? You're not gonna get as much power from here, right? But if you're here, it's direct power. So that's why wrist straps are important. That was one of the biggest mistakes that I had. Other problems that I observed when I was watching back my videos, my feet weren't tucked under my knees. So when I was benching, like during the lift, halfway through the lift, my feet would come out and I wouldn't get any leg drive because my feet were not tucked under my knees. You need to tuck your feet under your knees so you can get the explosive power, right? I'll put an example of how this looks on the screen. Next point I have is flaring your elbows. This is a great way to injure yourself. I always wondered why I had shoulder pain, like literally coming off this bench press. Like when I lifted heavy, I'd have the shoulder pain. When I went light, I'd literally come home and have the shoulder pain. And I was like, bro, why the fuck does it feel like this shit, bro? I literally felt like I was going to get injured, right? But then I corrected my form. My elbows were flared. The direction of the bar wasn't going to the right place. You bench, the path of the bar should be under your chest, right? It should be around this area. It shouldn't be up here, because when you bench up here, right, your elbows are going to be flared out and it's going to cause more stress up here, give you pain in your shoulders, right? So that's why when you bench press, it fucking hurts a lot after 2 days or literally right after the session, because you're benching all the way up here. That's a common misconception, right? Your bench press should be, when you're coming down, it should touch right here. So that's why it's important to work on your form, right, on the light days, so you can correct that. Because literally the most common mistake that I had, benching up here, and it was hurting my fucking shoulders, my elbows were flared, right? Your elbows should be tucked in 45-degree angle and push up. That's the most explosive power that you get. Like with football, when you're blocking somebody, you're coming in, your elbows are tucked and you're pushing out. That's the most explosive power that you will get, right? Because when you watch football, no lineman is blocking up here. They're coming from here with their elbows flared in and they're pushing up. One thing with this, you can't be fucking scared of the weight, bro. This shit is going to get heavy. You're going to have to max out eventually, right? So get a spotter, right? Don't be scared to ask somebody to spot you. You're not going to fucking die. Don't be scared of the weight, unless you don't have a spotter. If you don't have a spotter, be scared of the weight. But when you go heavy, get a spotter, bro. Constantly training heavy on bench press has been the reason why my bench press has increased. I've been able to lift so much heavier than my body weight because I go heavy on bench press often. So my body adapts to the heavy load. My body can handle heavy loads because I do it often. If you're scared of lifting fucking heavy weight, you honestly need to just get the fuck out of the gym, bro. Lift some fucking heavy ass weights when you're in the fucking gym. Don't ego lift, but lift some heavy weight, bro. Get stronger, get bigger, right? Because your body needs to adapt to this heavy load. Unless you're trying to build for a heavy definition, you're in a bodybuilding competition, bro, start lifting heavier, right? Increase your reps, increase your weight. Fucking lift lightweight for 30 reps. Don't do that shit, bro. Do some rep ranges around 10 to 12, right? 3 to 6 if you really want to go heavy, if you want to take this strength training serious. Last really 2 points that I have is setting new goals. You need to set new goals each and every single time you're in the gym. Because when I was hitting 225, right, I got content. I got content when I hit 225 on bench. But that was the reason I hit the plateau. Because I wasn't willing to learn more. I thought I was the shit, but really I wasn't the shit, bro. There was new shit to accomplish, right? Because the moment that you get content in this lifetime, all will go to shit, right? There's always somebody working harder than you, somebody improving more than you. There's always something that you can do more. The moment I set a new goal to 315, bro, my bench press started going up. I started learning more about bench press. I started correcting my form, right? Because I set a new goal, which has led me to refuel that hunger, right? Because you're not going to be the fucking strongest in the gym benching 225. Once I hit 315, guess what? My next goal is 4 or 5, right? I'm never satisfied. You cannot get fucking satisfied in life or in the gym, because the moment that you become content, somebody else will catch up to you, or you will lose your progress or not go as far as you could have been going in the gym or in life. The last point that I really have to make is you're not really going to be able to increase your bench if you're cutting weight. What I do is I stay at calorie maintenance and I just get stronger that way. If you're bulking, you can easily increase your weight, but it's going to be fairly and decently hard to bench press if you're cutting weight. It's getting a little bit dark, you can barely see me. The end of this video, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you like this video and you want to learn more about bench press and learn more about the gym, you can feel free to book a free call in my YouTube description, right? You can do that. I'll see if you're a good fit for my coaching program and we'll discuss how it goes from there. But I'll see you guys in the next video.